Minutes on swing. Yeah. We gon' put your minutes on swing. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat, we need you for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake, it's like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Hey everybody, how are you today? Nisha's Network here, Coach Nisha. So super excited to be here. Look, I put all the little titles there today because we got some exciting things coming up. But today I am super excited to dive right in with my special guest. Let me tell y'all something about the Lord. He loves me so much that he just given me sisters all over the United States of America and beyond in other countries. And this is none other than the fabulous Miss Diva herself, Dr. Deidra Roussaw. Hello, girl.
Hey, Nisha's Network.
She is over in Nashville, Tennessee, and I just want her to introduce herself because she is the ultimate, the queen, the signature wife coach. So if you are watching and you are a wife that needs to know how to be a wife and not a knife, you need to hook up with Dr. Deidra. But I'm gonna let her introduce herself to everyone and tell us tell us a little bit about yourself, girl.
Okay, I am Dr. Deidra Roussaw, the signature wife coach. I coach and mentor wives all around the world. And I love working with wives because when I went through my marriage, my husband said, "You got them single friends. You need some wives." I didn't have no wives, so I created a wives tribe. The Lord showed me how to create it. And back in 2010, we created this tribe, and it's just growing larger and larger. And now I have people that I can go to, that I can lean on, that I can press into, because there's nothing new under the sun. What one wife went through or is going through or maybe will go through, one wife already been through it. So that's why we're the Truly Wet Wives.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know you're married. How long have you been married? How many children? And tell us a little bit about, how you landed in Tennessee.
Okay.
You're a Philadelphia native, right?
Yes, I'm from Philly. So I reside in Nashville. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. We relocated to Nashville because of my husband's job, and it has been such a blessing. We've been here for like 3.5 years. My husband and I, we've been together. October, it'll be 32 years. We'll be married 24 years in August, and this is my second marriage. So God gave me a do-over, and it's such a blessing. We have one daughter, blended family. She's 38, and then we have four grandchildren, 2 grand guys and 2 grand girls, and they reside in Atlanta.
Awesome. And you know what? Not only is she the signature wife coach who has the ministry Truly Wed Wives, and they have togethermarriages.org, and there's so many things. I'll put all the handles up there. But one of the things is that you also are a travel expert, a sandals travel expert. Tell us about that.
Yes. So my husband and I, we started a business back in 1999. It's a travel agency. I really don't talk about it because every other person is a travel agent, so I don't talk about it. But we specialize in sandals. So my husband and I, we're sandals certified specialists, and we're sandals wedding moon specialists. So we do the elite. We do luxury. We teach couples how to travel luxury. And one thing that I tell you is that this luxurious sandals resorts, it kind of helps save our marriage. So it's a blessing when you go. It's just couples in mind for sandals, and then it's family in mind for beaches. So that's what we specialize in, and we love it. We also do high-end cruises, but we're known to do sandals and beaches, and we just love it. We've been doing it for 23 years now.
Wow. And those are all the preliminaries about Dr. Deidra. But one thing I want to say about you is that you are so down to earth and you keep it real. That's the other part. We've met on Clubhouse and have just connected, and it's just been such a blessing. And we were blessed for them to join us at our Heart Life Marriage Getaway last year. And it was just and we're connected through other connections. But the truth is that I believe it was God ordained. And one of the things I want to dive into talking about today is what is it to be the signature wife coach? Why do you think God called you? Why do you call yourself that, first of all? And then I know you have a lot of programs. We'll talk about those things, but I really kind of want to ask you, what made you become the signature wife coach?
Well, one of the things is that I'm adventurous. I came from a real structured family. I'm number 10 of 11 children, which I couldn't do anything. So only thing I can think about was creating. So I've been a creative visionary since I was young. And with that being said, I always wanted to do things that people weren't doing. So in Together Marriages and Truly Well Wives, and then my husband has Husband United, we're doing things that we don't see. And so, with that being said, I offer signature services. That's why I consider myself the signature wife coach. When I became a wife coach wasn't a thing, but now you hear it, from different people, a wife coach. So I consider signature because we offer one of a kind services.
Okay.
We offer one of a kind experiences. We're not trying to do anything that we've seen, and so God downloads it in our spirit, and a lot of times, especially the things I come up with, my husband even be looking at me side eye like, what? I'm like, the Lord gave it to me. So, and then you don't have all the answers because the Lord give me things step by step. He don't give me everything at one time. So it sounds crazy when I'm trying to explain it. But then when I meditate on it, but when it manifests, it's like, whoa. And so God did it. That's all I can say is God did it.
Yes, and so I'm gonna vouch for the fact that God gives you things so uniquely, because I had an experience to be a part of one of the nights of the I don't know if it was Ambassador Wives or the Truly Wed Wives, whatever organization I was part of that time, and it was so much fun. And I felt like, I was like, what I loved is that I didn't want to be I think you had me presenting, but I didn't want to be the presenter. I was like sitting there like, wow, this is so much fun. And I think wives need to know how to have fun. There's so many people that are having struggles, and I know you have overcame some things in your own relationship. Just tell us about how God really turned things around. You tell it all the time, but I would love for people who never heard it, just briefly to tell us about how God, really just called you and Dr. Dwight to, Together Marriages, and how you all just became more unified in your marriage.
Well, as I stated, this is my second marriage. My first husband, he cheated on me, and his mistress was at our wedding. I couldn't get over that. And I was a runner. And so I stayed in that marriage for 7 years. My ex-husband is a good guy. He just wasn't good for me. And so when I
That's
remarried,
so good. Wait, hold on. Let's stop right there, Dr. Deidra. Now that's really good right there. And I'm sure you can say that because you got Dr. Dwight and everything. But when did that revelation happen? Was that healing to take place, that he was a good guy, but he's not a good guy for me? Or was that or was that just your revelation when you got divorced?
well, it was kind of both because during healing, you want to be made whole. We're walking with the Lord, and I saw all the miracles that were performed in the Bible. Jesus turned water into wine, Lazarus being raised from the dead, Daniel in the lion's den, the women with the issue of blood. So I knew that God had something for me. I know that He didn't bring me this far to leave me, and so I was trusting and leaning on Him, and that's the only thing that I could do. But the Lord gave me double for my trouble. Remember Job? And
Yes.
so I had a Job experience. And so I never say anything negative about my ex-husband. He is a good guy, but it just didn't work for us. And so with that being said, you want the best for him. I want the best for him. And, but God had other plans for me. And I thank the Lord for it, because sometimes you got to go through to get through. And
Mm.
if I never went through that, I wouldn't be where I am now. And even in my second marriage, me and my husband, we hit, a pitfall. We hit a wall, and we were renewing our vows at 10 years, and we weren't seeing eye to eye. It was just like, we supposed to be a team, but we weren't a team. Well, how my husband always teach that in the husband's huddle, we supposed to be teammates, but we just became roommates. And I wanted to run. We were renewing our vows, and our bishop came and he paid for us to get on the jet skis. When we got on the jet ski, my husband was leaning to the left. I was leaning to the right because we weren't on one accord. And I let him know, when I get back home, I'm leaving you. And the Lord gave me permission to leave, but the jet ski toppled over in 35 feet of water, and both of us almost drowned. They had to come rescue us with the rescue boats. We didn't have any life preservers on or anything. But when we were under the water, God was saying the same thing to us, but we weren't on one accord, so I didn't know. So the Lord said, I could take you out right now. And at that time, that's when we were starting to see the shark sightings. And we were at Sandals and beaches in Negril, Jamaica. And we had almost 30 people that was with us, and they were on the shoreline. So to see the jet ski topple over, and we just were under the water, and they didn't see us, my daughter and, all of our family and friends. So with that being said, the Lord said to me, I have work for you. So either you're going to do what I'm commanding you to do, and I'm going to take you out. And of course, you under all this water. The thing about it is that the water felt like bath water. It was warm. But in Jamaica, in the grill, everybody could see, all the other hotels could see, because they had the rescue to rescue us. And so my husband, when we got back home, the Lord allowed me to buy my first luxury car right in front of my husband's face. He allowed me to move into this really, really nice luxury apartment building. I hired movers, and as the movers came, I just was taking my living room set and the dining room set, and my husband was keeping the rest. But when I went upstairs to get the rest of the stuff, my husband was packing. And I'm like, well, where are you going? And he said, well, we're moving. And, I got mouth. I'm from Philly, I got mouth. And so he's like, Deidra, I don't want to hear all that. God put me here to cover you, and I'm going to cover it. And if I can be honest, I allowed that to happen because we were in business. We owned the business together. So it's like, okay, well, I don't have to do all that stuff to salvage the business. But what happened was I was a bitter wife for a whole year. I was a bitter wife, but my husband, I was running to divorce court, but my husband ran to the cross. And so with him fighting for the marriage, we're here today.
So what do you tell people when there's only one person fighting and the other one is just bitter, or the other one is holding unforgiveness in their heart? And it could be the husband or the wife. What do you tell? I know you speaking specifically to wives, but that's a hard place to live in. And really, I just can't imagine it, because that's hard to live through a person that's just bitter and angry and doesn't want to conform. What do you recommend for them?
Well, you have to really trust in the Lord, and you have to go deeper in your relationship with the Lord. You can't look at what other people are doing. You got to do what God called you to do, because God is the only one. See, I can't control my husband, but I know a man. My husband can't control me, but he know a man. And so Christ is in the center of our marriage. But when I wasn't willing to fight, my husband was fighting. He did, that's when Fireproof had came out, and he did the love there. And so my husband cooks most of the time now. But that's how he learned how to cook. And the love there, that was, he was speaking to my love language, and he would, cook. And I'm like, he don't even know how to cook. And every night he was cooking dinner, my husband was trying. And so I was looking at it, and then the Lord showed me, get from beyond yourself. And then we had to travel. So we went to Sandals and Ocho Rios, Jamaica. That was part one of our deliverance. And so we were on the beach, walking on the beach, talking about, what went wrong in our marriage. And, my husband was like, I just don't want to listen. I just want to shop. I didn't want to submit and all that. But I came from a strong mom. My mom said, make sure you make your own money and don't listen to no man. So that's what I brought into my marriage. And then part two was my husband and I, we're certified counselors. So he didn't want counseling. And so with that being said, I had to find different programs. And so we got like 8 to 10 different certifications for our own marriage. We weren't thinking about other people. We were just trying to get by on our own, through our own marriage,
Hold on. So what you're saying is that you went and got the certifications just for you all to grow and groom in your own marriage?
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's key, Dr. Deidra, because one of the things that I know that, it's either one or the other. The husband doesn't want counseling. Majority of the time it's the men, but quite frankly, recently there have been women who just don't want to, and they just don't care what the husband does to turn a new leaf. They just are determined just to say negative. But I never thought about that. It's just like going to school for yourself, but you're going to school for yourself will help not only you, but it'll help somebody else. That's really impactful. Wow.
what it wasn't my idea. The Lord dropped it in my spirit.
Hey, it wasn't your idea again, huh, girl?
Let me tell you, nothing good come from this flesh. I ain't even gonna sit up here and be like, I'm the bomb. Oh no, God get all the glory, the honor, and the praise. But we got certified. We became certified marriage coaches. We became
Wow,
certified
you were going through.
right, all of that. But it was for us. We weren't thinking about anyone else. It was, because what it is, Dwight and I, we have a very strong friendship. I mean, a very strong friendship. And I was looking at him as my hero, but God was like, I put him there. He's the blessee. I'm the blessor. So you don't get caught up in him. You get caught up in me. And that's how God shook our marriage up. And so I'm like, Lord, I got it. And so then the third part was we had to go to another business trip, Beaches, Turks, and Caicos. And so I had started back smoking cigarettes. I started by cussing and all that. And, my pastors know, because I was honest with them. And they was like, praying with me, my first ladies, my mentor. And I was wild. But the Lord had to hold me back in. And I was laying on this palm tree in Turks and Caicos, like crying, like, because I didn't want to be in a marriage. I did not want to be in this marriage. The Lord told me, put that cigarette out. Don't pick no more cigarettes up. He told me to go upstairs and connect with my husband like never before. And he set it up, because when I went upstairs to the room, now, let me tell you something, Pastor Nisha, they gave us the best room in this resort. Like, this room was the bomb. When I went up there, my husband had made me some bath water with rose petals, and he, we had dinner on the beach, and it was just so romantic. And we left our issues on that island, Beaches, Turks, and Caicos. And when we came home, we started working on our marriage. And then Thanksgiving was coming, and on Thanksgiving Day in 2009, the Lord said, start a marriage ministry. And he did it in 30 days. And I want to say right after that, we had our first one and only marriage conference. And he said, let it be free. It was free. Chick-fil-A partnered with us. They gave us sandwiches, potato chips, fudge brownies, fruit, and lemonade and iced tea for $5 per person. Now, you don't get that at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
But then, I went to different stores around there, and they didn't hear, of what we were doing. And they gave us gift cards. So we got breakfast, and then Krispy Kreme gave us like 8 dozen of donuts. And then we got our pastors to come speak. It was just so nice. We paid for the church. Vendors were just popping up on the scene. So we had like 10 vendors. So it was really, really nice. But God just did it all, but the thing about it is that God can do all things but fail.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. I love the best part I love is that you all showed up for yourself, went to get certified for yourself. And that is so huge. And I think that's amazing. That's a great tool, to use to say, hey, if I can't get this right, let's go on and go to school for ourselves. So, years have passed and you guys have been doing this thing. And I know that you all did marriage ministry and all of that, and the travel agency. But about the wife, and I know last year, I just let you introduce yourself, and you were on our panel for the marriage conference, the ladies breakout room. And I know that several women couldn't stop talking about, the tools. Number one, I think that your personality, the gift that you have is drawing, number one. And number two, what you're offering is truth. And that's what somebody else said. Thank you for your transparency. One of the Facebook people said, thank you for your transparency. And I think that's something that, people hide behind the struggle. And I always say this, I haven't had the same struggle somebody else has had. You haven't had maybe the same struggles I have had. But so unless you've been through it, you don't know how transparent you'll really be. Do you agree with that?
I do, because the enemy was on my heels. He was like, you're the common denominator, because I divorced the first marriage, and I thought I was heading to divorce in this marriage, and he was all over me. So I interviewed like 12 to 15 wives, leaders. I'm talking about pastors' wives and pastors, just to, talking about their marriage, not just to get in their business, because I felt alone. I felt like, the enemy was really beating up on me. And this was before we renewed our vows. And everybody was talking about they had these wonderful marriages. And I was just like, wow, it is me. But after the Lord told me to start sharing my testimony, well, I come from a family, what goes on in this house stays in this house. So I told my mom, God rest her soul, I told my mom that I was writing a book. And she was like, talk about yourself. In other words, don't talk about nobody but yourself. But then the Lord said, go get other wives to write the book with you. And so y'all can tell y'all truths. And so over 50 wives wrote in this book, and they talk about their trials, tribulations, and triumphs. So with that being said, some of the wives came back to me and let me know that they weren't being honest. And some of them became my clients.
Wow. Wow. So the name of the book, what's the name of the book, Dr. Deidra?
It's called Wives on Fire.
Wives on Fire. It's available on Amazon?
Yes. Yep.
Wives on Fire, you guys, is available on Amazon. Well, I want to talk a little bit about, we'll put that caption up there, but one of the things your signature slogan is "No Wife Left Behind." Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I was going through in my marriage, as I just told you, all of these wives were saying that they weren't going through, and I felt like I was left behind. I felt like I was that wife that was left behind. Like, Lord, where are you? Like, you see what I'm going through, but where are you? Like James Fortune, like it was two songs that really helped me out. I'll Trust You by Donnie McClurkin and I'll Trust You by James Fortune. Those two songs, and they ministered to my soul. And when I give my wife's homeworks and I give my mentees homeworks, it's the song, it's a movie, and all of that, because it all makes sense. But I felt like I was being left behind. But then the Lord said, no, I'm going to give you double for your trouble. And he did. Every time I turn around, the Lord is blessing every time. And so I just love the Lord, because it was just like, it was a setup for a setback, but it was a comeback. Like, he didn't forget about me. And then he said he would, he would never leave me nor forsake me. And I had to keep remembering all these things. And God is just so good. And that's why I felt like I was left behind. And I promised the Lord while I was under that water, I was like, Lord, if you save me I can't die like this. My daughter and my grandchildren are on the shoreline watching. Lord, please don't take me out like that. And I promised, and I made a vow to him, and I keep that vow. When a wife called me, any of my clients will tell you, I talk to them. I put time aside to talk to them. I remember a wife called me like 1 a.m, and we was going to go to this marriage leadership retreat. And when she called me, I got out the bed, and my husband, I was like, this wife talking about committing suicide, babe. I got to take this call. And so, she was deaf. So I had to talk to her through a prompter, and it was just so crazy. But the moral of the story is, we went through it. I was praying. I was reading the word. I was letting her know what I went through and letting her know that she can make it. But some people, some people are just on the verge, and it's like, who's there for us? And so you guys know, because you guys are certified marriage coaches, you do family, you have business, so you know how it is, with the couples. And it's the wives are open up more than the husbands.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I know that No Wife Left Behind, and I know you have several programs that are going on right now where women, you can join, wives, you can join and become a part of your ambassador program, right? Tell us a little bit about how women can get in touch. Well, I can tell them how you can get in touch with you, but tell them what they will receive by becoming a part of your coaching program.
Okay, so I have 2 different coaching programs. I have the Lifestyle Mentoring, where I go through and I teach the wife how to be a wife on all levels in different seasons in her marriage. And then the Wife CEO Mastermind and Mentorship is a group that I have. It's a nominal fee of $25, but that's for wives where I minister to them about their marriage, their business, and or their ministry. So that's what that's about. And so with that being said, because when I was coaching wives, they got tired. Sometimes they got tired of talking about their husbands, but they were so intrigued that me and my husband been in business so long together, and they want to talk about business. And so that's where the wife CEO aspect came from.
So if people want to get in touch, they can go to trulywedwives.com.
Yes, they can go to trulywedwives.com. All of my information is there. They can either email me or they can call me, and I will answer the phone.
And the other thing is that don't sleep on the fact that Dr. Deidra can travel and come to you to be a speaker to your wives. So many people just focus on marriage, but some people just don't know how to be a wife. Some people don't know what that looks like. And somebody that's walked through some I love that you said your mama taught you how to stash your money. I mean, somebody that's gonna be real with you. And when you're broken and when you feel betrayed and when you feel unloved, some people have never been betrayed, but they feel alone they're married, but they're alone in their marriage. And so what do you recommend for people? Like, do you recommend them to come and get coaching, or do you recommend them to start marriage counseling? Because we tell people all the time, sometimes it's an individual journey first before you can actually acknowledge that you both need it together. What do you think?
So what we're doing, I have leaders, like when I was back in Philadelphia, we had a team of wife coaches. We all like did certain certifications together. We got certified as mentors together. So with that being said, so many wives were trying to connect with me, and I didn't know how to do it on a national level, let alone an international level. So what the Lord dropped in my spirit in 2017 is to start a wife ambassador program. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't really say nothing to nobody, because when the Lord tell me something, it's like one of a kind, and it sounds crazy, and so I didn't say anything. But when I got here, I didn't know how to do it, so I hired a publicist.
Okay.
And then I started coaching with David Tuturo, because he's the event planner, and because I want my events to be off. I don't want to do regular stuff, and so I started coaching with different people and learning different things, and then we formed a leadership team. So I have a leadership team, so different people coach on different things, and all of them they got their mentorship certifications and stuff. So I can teach on infidelity, I can teach on blended families, I can teach on a lot, but everybody is staying in their lane. So we're getting ready to launch on July the 1st. And so, one of the wives, Tamisha, she's our infidelity expert. And then Dr. Paulette, she's our healing expert. And then Bree, she's our blended family expert. So we got all wives doing different things. So everything is not on me, and I get to enjoy my life, because one thing that I learned, I love spending time by myself now.
Yes, girl. When it's time to rest and say lies, time to rest, right?
Yes. Yes.
That is so wonderful. Well, I want, before we close out, you guys go to www.trulywedwives.com. Get in touch with Dr. Deidra. But I want to definitely mention that I am excited to be a part. Well, first of all, let me say Dr. Deidra and Dr. Dwight will be at our marriage getaway, and Dr. Deidra will have a workshop on wives, how to be a wife, you all. So y'all be intentional to know that she's coming in October 21st to 23rd. But me and Wes we have the honor and privilege of being able to be a participant of the Experiences Last Everlasting with Together Marriages. Tell us about this, Dr. Deidra.
So my husband and I, when we first got into travel, we didn't see anybody that really looked like us. So, we were just like, we did start doing our Families on Fire. So our Families on Fire, we did our first Families on Fire in 2000, and we did it every year except the year before last because of COVID. And then, with the married couples, we knew what it was going to sample. So we started that with the married couples. We started that back in 2010. And so we do a Marriage on Fire retreat every year in December. Now, people are like, why December? We do it the first or the second week in December, because January is the largest divorce rate. People feel like, let me just get through Christmas. And of course, the New Year resolution is to leave this person. And so we want to catch them before they get there. And so we do the retreat so we can minister to them. And we have people such as yourself, your husband, helping minister to the couple so they can relax and unwind. The scripture talks about, in Mark, it talks about go away and, alongside and rest for a while. So we want the couples to rest, and then they can come back rejuvenated. So while they're on the plane, we give them homework. So we call it air talk. So they have homework that they have to do leading up to the retreat. And so that's why we do it in December. And then once they leave the retreat, like we'll do some light coaching or whatever. But then in August is the second highest month for divorce, because they want to get through family vacation. And at the family vacation, somebody want to go their own way or whatever they decide. So that's why we do it in December. And then we do a Families on Fire, in July, August, around that time.
Wow. So we'll be in the Bahamas this year, huh?
Yes, we're going to be at Sandals, Royal Bohemian in Nassau, Bahamas. And what I love about this resort, I've been to this resort many a times, but during COVID, they just put millions of dollars in the resort, and they just redid the whole resort. And I'm excited to go there. Like, they added 2 food trucks, and they just do it. And if you've ever been to a Sandals resort, if you haven't, you see the commercials, but my husband and I, we're like at the top tier, and we specialize in that. We don't do any, people be like, can you do Punta Cana and all that? No, we don't do all that. We do the elite, because we want our couples to get that luxurious feel. If you get a luxurious feel, we want them to have a luxurious marriage, and so that's why we do it when we do it and how we do it.
Y'all see how much energy Dr. Deidra has? Let me tell you something. That's why I'm around this sister. She gonna keep me fired up. She's getting her rest, but she's firing everybody else up to get up and go. And that's including me. People are like, Nisha, you just need to slow down. Let me tell you, I'm hanging with Dr. Deidra Roussaw. How you pronounce your last name?
Roussaw.
I'm hanging out with Dr. Deidra, and so therefore I'm gonna be on a Wives on Fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna be sitting back chilling. We're gonna be about our Father's business, but with purpose and intentionality. And then I love that you also teach, then know when to sit back and sit down and rest. And that is huge, and so I'm taking notes, Dr. Deidra. I mean, like, I'm paying real close attention. I'm not quite connected 100%, but I'm 80% connected to all of the things that Dr. Deidra has going on. And so therefore, and I'm looking forward to being a coming more. And I encourage you as a wife, whoever is listening today, if you are a wife that needs to be on fire, and you may be having struggles, go to trulywedwives.com and look for some coaching services. Look on how to become an ambassador wife if you're a woman in leadership, and really want to learn how to, because a lot of times leaders, they struggle because they're so busy leading everybody else, but they never take time for themselves. Every coach needs a coach, right?
Right.
Every leader needs a leader.
Exactly. But I tell you one thing that I learned, Nisha, is when I was home in Philly, I was doing everything. And when I came here, it's like, you know what, I'm chilling. And I tell my husband, just to let you know, babe, I'm chilling. So I'm going to be working bedside today, and yes, I do. I have my laptop, my iPad, I have my phone. Look, and some days, and on Fridays, I take off. So on Fridays, I go to lunch bar. I treat myself to lunch, and then I have date night with my husband. But I'm trying to teach wives that, it's just like you're being so busy. But that's how I got in trouble in my marriage, because my husband was like, "You doing too much." I said, "Well, I asked you. You said no." He said, "Well, you're doing too much."
Yeah.
So I almost lost my marriage by doing too much.
Wow. Well, you guys, it's been a pleasure meeting with my sister friend in Nashville, Tennessee, but she's a Philly native, and she's not going to never stop saying that, right? Allie said hi on there, okay?
Hey, Allie, my Philadelphia sister. Hey.
Yes. So your transparency today, thank you. You guys, if you're looking for a Sandals wedding moon specialist, did I say it right?
Yeah, you sure did.
A wedding moon specialist. All of you ladies who are about to get married, if you're looking for a coach to coach you on how to be married and how to be a wife God's way, Dr. Deidra is the one you need to go and see. Trulywedwives.com for all the programs that she has, and I do mean all of them, you guys. And if you need more information, you can go to info@trulywedwives.com. Go on Amazon and purchase her book, which is called what is it called again? What is it called?
Yeah, Wives on Fire.
There it is. Wives on Fire. It's available on Amazon it's over 50 authors of women telling their story and their journey. And so It's just such a blessing. So I'm so grateful that we finally got to do this. This is taking forever for us to get to it. But let me say, it's been a pleasure. And I love that the Lord knitted our hearts together.
Amen.
But thank you
Amen.
so much. Is there anything, last words you want to leave with the people that are watching today?
Yes, I just wanted to tell the wives, because people still want to know how to be connected. On July the 1st, we're launching our Truly Wed Wives Society of Ambassadors, and it's for any wife. Our motto is "No Wife Left Behind," and you can find that information out through our website, or we're on all social media platforms under Truly Wed Wives.
So that's July 1st, you guys. You don't want to miss out. Go to trulywedwives.com. And until next time, it's been a pleasure talking to you, girl. Hang tight. Everyone, it's Father's Day weekend this weekend, and we have my own dad who's going to be interviewed this weekend. So you guys want to stay tuned Saturday or whenever it's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but whenever it is, Father's Day weekend, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers who may not get a chance to catch up on Nisha's Network. All right. Hold tight, Dr. Deidra. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.